Hello everybody, today is 28th of February 2019 and I'm going to start by first saying that if you can see my screen at the moment, then there's something written fill up deposit bonus with 200%. So this is just a normal deposit bonus. You need to deposit at least 500 USD into your account, then FreshForex will give you triple that amount. So it's as simple as that. I don't have any special link for this one. You just need to go to the main site and then there's the bonuses option where you'll be able to get the bonuses, including the one I'm currently having on my screen at the moment. So we will want to move straight to the main chart, and I want to mention that today is the end of the month. Therefore, we expect trades that will be there even for the coming month. We want to see if there are going to be any good trade maybe for the next week or for the coming months. So far, I'll start with Euro USD. This is what I'm seeing on this chart. We are currently looking at a very good resistance which was broken above and below consecutively. We have this a resistance, a resistance, a resistance. The entire place was a resistance. Price went above it, came back to the same level. There's a break below. Then we are now consolidating right below the same level where previously people were selling from. So this could be a very good place to sell from. We are possibly looking for a sell from this point, but in case the price does not sell off from 1.1445, then we basically want price to clearly ascend above, retrace down so that you can pick a buy continuously to the upper side. The same chart, you look at it from the monthly, this is how it looks. Minimize that. From the monthly point of view, you actually have a level here, a very good trend line, and then they also have very good support from that point. We also have a level there. So as you can see, the price is technically bouncing from 1.1262. If you are looking at this chart at the moment, then the best you should be doing is actually you should be waiting for a very good buy up to the upper trend line. This is what we expect to happen, where we expect it to sell off for the longest time possible. So basically that just a resistance, have a good resistance. We also have a very good resistance. Then we also have a very good resistance along the trend line, and we want the same place to be a resistance in the near future. We want that should price get back to this trend line somewhere around this point, then that will be the correct place to sell from. So far, according to the market, the indicator I'm having on this chart, there is no clear indication for a sell except that the columns of MACD are beginning to close below 0.00. So this is not a confirmation that the price is heading downwards. You need to clearly confirm that the trend is heading downwards so that you can pick a sell properly from that trend, like the one I'm having at the very top. So according to the monthly, we still expect some move up. So maybe in the course of next month, you should be expecting price to retrace slightly down before you see a spike up. That is as long as the price is above 1.1262. Should price go below it and close below, then that upward move has been violated. We are not going to look for a buy anymore. We want price to now move even lower and should head straight to these levels here, the ones I'm having. A very good support. You also have a level there, then you also have a level there. They look close because this is a monthly chart. If this was a daily chart, then you'll just see some of them are not even visible. This is a level. We have a level there. We also have a level there. Then there's one which is at the bottom. We have one which is at the very bottom, which is at this point 0.8438. So we basically want price to do either a break above, continue up according to the monthly. We want price to either continue up or break below, and if this level is broken, then the next key place is this, and the last one is the lower side. We'll move to the next chart. That should be GBP USD there. And on GBP USD, I don't want to add much because already we saw a direction from the monthly and we are still remaining with it. There's an upward move on the monthly, and then we also have a level here. So according to the weekly chart, there's only one thing. We have price currently ascending above 1.3205. So we want a close above this level. If the current week's candle, the one we're having now, assuming it's assuming the current week's candle manages to close above 1.3205, then we want it to retrace just slightly. Let it retrace slightly, something like this, so that we are able to pick a buy from that point to the very top, somewhere here. So this is what we expect to happen on the weekly chart. GBPSD, we want price to close above 1.3205. Then it should retrace slightly before we can pick another position up to the top, 1.4246. So those are the levels to look for. If you're on the weekly chart, you want to trade GBPS, then just wait for a slight retracement, then you should be able to pick a buy. And ensure that while you're picking that buy at this point, ensure that the columns of MACD ensure that you have these columns of MACD, the ones that are now below, they should start appearing on top. You should expect to see them now forming at the top instead of the lower side. This is what you expect to happen. So I'm marking them red because that is what we expect to be happening. We want price, before you buy at this point, just ensure that at the very time you want to buy, the columns of MACD have now started appearing above this level, 0.00. We'll move to yesterday's there. And we still have our charts the same as we had them yesterday. So far there's a level here which price is finding hard to close above. This candle, the first attempt failed, the second one also failed, then this one also is showing signs that it may close below. So if it has not closed already, we don't want to judge it. If it has not closed below, we choose to remain. We leave it temporarily. But in case it goes above, and by the end of this week you find that the price is above 110.78, then let it extend up slightly, retrace back, pick a buy from the same point where it was struggling to break above, head straight to 114.05. Then in case that is broken, we are going to look for another buy position towards the very top. So basically on this chart we have two trades. We had the first one, which is still running good. We're waiting for the second one. We're also waiting for the last one, which is the third one. So all of these trades, if you successfully manage to, if you bought here, you can still buy there, you can still buy there. All of them, you should take profit at the very top somewhere. This is the best place to take profit from. This level is, other than the fact that it's a weekly level, it's also a very good monthly resistance. So anytime the price approaches it, expect a bounce from it, maybe to the lower side, and it has to be broken. If it's broken, that breakout has to happen with a big candle. It has to clearly close above 117.92 so that we confirm that we are upwards. So on this chart, there are only these lines. We have the very first one, 117.92, 114.05, 110.78, 108.55, then 104.50. These are the levels to look for. Anytime the price approaches any of these lines, then you should expect a trade from either. So I want to check the same chart maybe from lesser time frame to see if there's any good trend. So this is what we had yesterday. We had these two moving averages. One of them is 200, another one is 152. The black one is 152, then the red one is So this is what we expect to happen yesterday. We wanted price to come back up to 110.02, but that did not happen. So we still expect price to try pulling back to this so that you can buy it, but until then the price is still upwards. If you can see any good position for buying, you can still look for a buy, expecting price to go up to the top. The first level should be there, and the next one should be at the very top, which is at 113.81. So I want also to look at GBPUSD from a lesser time frame, from maybe 1 hour for us. This is what we said yesterday. We had this as a very good resistance. We had this one as a very good resistance. Then price clearly went above it some few days ago. So we basically expect price to come back to the same place so that you can pick that back to the upper side. There's also a level here other than the one I'm having my line at. We also have a level at this point there. I also marked it as a zone. So the entire place here, a resistance, there's a break above. We want price to clearly come back to either this level or this level before it eventually embarks on a move to the upper side. So far on this side, these are the levels to look for trades. Look for this level, look for the upper one, and even if I was to add an indicator, let me add one indicator. The trend is downwards currently. We have the red dotted one above the green dotted one, which means there's a downtrend. So you should expect price to come down maybe either to 1.3270 or it should go up to 1.3229. These are the levels, this one and the next one. Anytime you see a clear sign of either this or this one, then you're supposed to look for a buy to the upper side. So that is it from the weekly. From the 1 hour, we also have on the 4 hour chart, we have this, a very good resistance, then a very good resistance. Price went above it, a support. We want price to go back up immediately it comes back. So this is a resistance, another resistance, then we have a support at that point. So we want price to basically retrace back to the same level so that you can pick a buy. We want it to try coming back up to that level so that we are able to take a buy to the upper side. That buy is valid because even from this indicator, the one I'm having on my chart, this is called ADX, average directional movement index. We have the main line, which is 20. The main line, complete one, is above level 25, and then the green dotted one is above the red dotted one, which means there's a trend and that trend is upwards. So we want price to continue as long as it remains above 1.3240. We expect it to continue even higher. So this is the next chart. There's actually a level here, SP500. We had a level here previously, and from whatever I'm having, this is what we expected. We wanted price to at least continue up and should go beyond 1.3028. I mean, we expected price to go up above 2.2814.2. We wanted price to go above, retrace slightly so that we can pick a buy from that point up to 2934.2. So what I can see on this side is that the previous day scan, which is this, was actually a bullish pin bar. This is a very good pin bar, which indicates that the price is possibly heading upwards. So assuming you see a good buy signal, maybe before the close, before the lowest low which price hit yesterday, then you may want to pick a buy trade, but take profits here the first time at 2814. Then should price close above, then you wait for a retracement before you can buy it next up to 2934.2. So these are the levels. But on this chart, I'm still having my levels at this point. I have another one. I have all this one. The first one 2934.2, then 2814.2, 2738.3, 2622.2. These are the levels to look for. Wait, we bought here, we bought there, we bought there, and as we speak, based on the previous day's pin bar, we are still waiting to buy today from around the previous day's lowest low. The lowest low is somewhere here. If the tail of this green candle is the previous day's lowest low, because this is a daily chart. We'll move to the next chart, and that should be Brent oil. So from this indicator, the first thing from this indicator, the one you're having on this chart, you can see that there's a trend, there's an active trend, of course, because the main line is above 25, then the green dotted one is above the red one. What this piece of information means is that there's a trend, and that trend is actively upward. So what we want to do now is for price to come back down. It should come up to that support. We'll pick a buy, another buy, and then the last one should be at the very top up to 86.05. So this is gold. We want to see if there's any clear one. There's a very good level from previously. We had a level there, and we suggested that price has to come back up to 1349 before we can sell it. As it is at the moment, we are still not doing anything. We want price to clearly come back to 1349.29 so that you can sell it from that point to the last side. This chart is good even on the monthly the same way. We have the monthly chart like this. A level, we have a level, we have a level, we have been ascending upwards. So we basically, as long as this looks like a sell, but it's not a very good one as it is, wait for price to proceed up, sell it from around 1350.92, 93, up to this trend line. You buy, a buy, and the next one is a buy up to the very top. So from the way this chart looks, the way I've just drawn it, you can see that the overall thing is upwards. And the price is likely heading even higher. So as long as the price remains below this level, this zone here, this is a sell. But should it break above that is in the future, then, or even now, then that will be a very good place to sell, to buy from. As it is at the moment, this is still a sell. We want to look for a sell maybe from the weekly. You look for a sell, expecting price to go up to that trend line, and in case it breaks above, then we'll buy it even higher. So we had a level here, we had a level previously where we wanted to buy from, we had a level at this point. The price actually has gone below. We wanted to buy while the price was here. The price has gone below it and is still below. So this could be a case of a support being broken. On the 4-hour chart, we have a support. We have a support there, a very good support. We also have a support. We also have a support. And then you also have a very good support. We also have a very good support. There's a break and we're now waiting to sell it. So if you're on the, assuming you're on the 4-hour chart, the same way this chart is at the moment, the one I'm having, then this should be a very good place to sell from. From the 4-hour point of view, this is actually a sell and we expect price to go, maybe there's a resistance at that point. We also have some level at that point. So in case the price successfully comes down, then this is the level to look for. We also have the lower level to look for. So we've looked at just all the symbols we wanted to look at. We've looked at Euro USD, GBP USD, USD JPY, SP500, Brent oil, and the last one which we just looked at is gold. So I want to mention something here that I mentioned before I started, that this bonus is still valid. If you deposit assuming you deposit 500 USD, then you'll be able to get this 200% bonus. So it's still valid for anyone. You can just apply as long as you have a classic account. Thank you very much. See you again tomorrow at the same time.